this time around as we kick things off on Garrison Hardpoint.
Garrison Hardpoint, and I guess starting off on the favorite side would end up being UCCS, as I believe that we're still jamming out here, Connie. So go ahead and just check the music. I know he can't hear it, but I've been rocking out this entire time. But UCCS will be starting off, I guess, on the favorite side, making it a little bit easier to make it over towards top green. But it's actually going to be Arizona, the Wildcats, that get there first. And looking over towards P1, the setup for the Wildcats, a pretty good one, but UCCS coming off their spawn looking to take it away.
Contest for the hill. Prof, big kills. Finds himself on a couple in a row here. 3 spree. We'll be able to soak up a bit of this time. 25 seconds to play for. As Rifa looks in towards the back, seeing if he might be able to push in towards Bricks. Big gunfight here versus the opposing AR. Won't be able to bring it home. Proflex just trying to hold on towards that push through. Eggy somehow able to win on that battle. The trades are good here for Neon, so we'll at least see the squad come through right off the bat here for Colorado Springs with a bit of a slow start, but now seeing if they might be able to actually answer back on towards this P2 hill.
Colorado Springs, I mean, they're getting the kills and actually gave a lot of time over to the Wildcats over towards P1 just in favor for the setup. So this has to be a money hill, otherwise this could really spiral out of control, but the kills just aren't coming through, and it's just going to open things up. Aggie's going to hit this through the brick side. They also might end up having some help coming through from top green. Just say extra shots being thrown there. Shot punch from Mackey's going to be good to sit Plex down, but Kodiak's comes back in to be able to find 2. So, I mean, Colorado Springs, again, they want this to be a big money hill. Kodiak's looking to make that their favor, but Beeson takes him.
Kodiak just ran right through, found 3, and things need to slow down here now. As you can see, a lot of these solo chows coming through at the moment. They're trying to fight for that last 20 seconds, but I mean, we know this rotation, this is what is going to be most important. Aggie with another important kill in towards the back here. Has to see if he can maybe deal with all the pressure that's in front of him, and well, no problem. Man. This is now a couple of sprees that have been able to be very impactful. As you see on that mini-map, all these red arrows in the back in position for control spawns.
I mean, all of these members for the Wildcats so far coming into this off the 2 games that we have for stats when I was making my show notes here. Awesome. I mean, Beeson's sitting at a 3.5 KD, 2.18 for Prof, 2.31 for Reaper, but it's Aggie at this 1.81, and you can see why. I mean, it might be skewed at certain moments in time. They're 8-5 so far, but these kills that they are finding are just so influential to the success to be able to dictate the pace and to be able to really set up your members here for the Wildcats. You do look at the first 30 seconds with relative ease. Colorado Springs looking to potentially hit this one more time.
We want to get into the last 30 seconds, but Rifa not letting anyone come through. Tools, one more from the front. Metro does manage to get his feet inside of the point. Can he hold on as long as he could? Would be great, and he actually manages to find 2 more before finally being taken down, and that's pretty big. That's a good 10 seconds. That doesn't actually get collected here, but the remaining 10 will end up going over. So Arizona going to find themselves at 100 points moving in towards our 4th hill. You need a hold for sure, and well, that is not a great start. Neon can't win the battle as they start pushing through the vents. Now it's actually right through the middle of the street. Metro has to get the job done. He's been reliable so far, but he needs some assistance as Aggie, he's locking down top green control, gets the information that the push is here. One more player is there, and it's actually a teammate, not what you like to see. Aggie then gets the isolated one-on-one, and this is the Wildcats just slowly taking over.
Beastin on a 4 spree just really opened things up to be able to find top catwalk control, and well, that opened up like a can of Pringles, Austin, and once you're top, the fun don't stop. Wildcats are just absolutely feasting here. I mean, Reaper's only at 7-10, but Aggie 13-8. Beastin I already noted at 12-5. Their sprees had just now ended, but when it comes down to presence of map, when it comes down to dictating the pace for the gunfights, now look no further than the Arizona Wildcats here for this Garrison Hardpoint, but I mean, UCCS, they're still in a spot to where if they get just a significant 40, they might just come back inside this first set of hills. It's going to have to come through on P5, but they got to really break their way in across this map.
They really do. And Rifa, he's on 5 in a row right now. There's a lot of sprees that have kind of just breaking open here for us in towards this map number 1. Aggie, a little bit of control and roaming around the middle of the map, starting to cut off some of the players, but those are good kills that end up coming through here for a moment. Colorado Springs desperately need to get themselves in the time and hold, and they are going to start soaking a bit of that up. At a big deficit, however, and Rifa, every single time they're on board with him, he's just throwing his body right in. Big battle here, gets assistance. Prof with the kill, jumps right in and challenges. No hesitation. We'll get control of L there for a quick moment. Neon with the trade, but Aggie still in position, soaking up time.
16-9. I mean, 15-6 now for Beeson as Metro does take them down, but I mean, just my God. I mean, they are just playing so fast and so furious. As far as just finding trades and finding themselves 3-piece after double kill, it's just impressive. The way the Wildcats are just flying through this map, just corralling, if you will. They're on the hunt here, man. They're not stopping. Aggie, oh my god, turns around, almost takes down Proplex. But again, it's more than just an impressive kill line that comes out for Arizona Wildcats after the first set of hills. It's the way that they're just commanding all the position across the map.
Metro, I mean, he's the only one that's really kept them, in with, I say kept them in, only 48 points, but I mean, it feels like he's really having a pretty big impact. It just has not really gotten the assistance here. This time around, Metro's not good for the trade. Push comes in. Proplex does find at least the kill on the point. Chance to start grabbing some time, but he will get overwhelmed. These subs right now, Andy, they are just really the difference maker on this map, and it's the reason we have the scoreline that we do.
Yeah, I always end up saying this too, just for Garrison Hardpoint, as the back 10 seconds might just be soaked up here on P1 for UCCS. Big fight, I guess, for the back 5 as Aggie just goes over there, just like, you know what, I'll just go ahead and soak this up. But I always say this about Garrison Hardpoint, Austin, is that this is an SMG's playground. There's so many nooks and crannies, there are so many little hop-up moments, so many headies that you could be playing through across the map that an SMG's presence can just absolutely be felt. And the 22-14 Aggie doesn't go unnoticed, and it's only helping out Beast at 19-10 find their strides. I believe they're playing with an XM4 here at this for this map mode. But in sort of P2 we go. 40 seconds remaining, and the initial hit for UCCS not looking too bad.
Not looking too bad, but struggling to get any real control here. They need to find a break right now. Prof has some assistance up top. And, well, the challenges are coming in, but the contest is still going to be good. They need to find Prof on the point, and it's going to find himself a kill. No way he gets more than one here, right? Okay, Prof. Little snapper contesting all of this time. They will be able to grab the back 15, but that's exactly it. It's just scrap time proper. This has really just been, I think, the biggest problem here, where they're just collecting the scraps. They're not really getting themselves setups, and they're not holding time.
Yeah, and through every single time that these scrap time is going over towards Colorado Springs, Austin, I mean, this is all while Wildcats are getting the setup. And typically when you see that happen for teams, the team that is coming in off the scrap gets a pretty good break. That's not the case for Colorado Springs. It is Arizona Wildcats, again, just eating up the respawns. They just find themselves as a very large rotation from 2 to 3, gifted over because they lost a gunfight. And then they have the setup to be able to read all of where UCCS are coming from. Prof has 2 players in front of him, one around the truck. Won't be good for at least the first, but Arizona Wildcats now know where UCCS are hitting from.
Dealing with these subs, that is a problem. But they do find at least one of the subs. Aggie from the side is going to be able to take his position right back in towards the point. Instead, looking to maybe press on through towards the next hill. Will be able to find himself a kill. Finesses almost for the second, but it's Metro, really the player that's been keeping them in with the 80 points they have. Still trying to do everything he can, closing in on 30 kills for themselves, but we're looking down to the final seconds. This is a 100-point club game. The Wildcats, well, they might be 1-1 here for us, Andy, but they come in saying they want to be 2-1, as this was an absolute blowout.
Yep, that's pretty scary stuff coming from the Wildcats. I mean, hell, playing so fast, it's almost just so hard for even Codcaster to be able to keep up for these submachine guns, just really just poking and prodding into all of the different angles that for UCCS we're just hoping to be able to find. And I mean, now that they're really able to showcase their reasoning why, that if you go on the website and you look up Arizona Wildcats, you just look up their KD point alone, that kind of speaks volumes to exactly why they are sitting at the 2, if not some members at the 3.5 KD ratio. So into the raid search and destroy we go, which you can only imagine would definitely favor a team that likes to play pretty darn quickly. A team that wants to try to get set up offensive, defensive, can end up just being flanked here, Austin. But I mean, it's going to have to be a big regain that comes on through for Colorado Springs.
Massive regain, yeah. I mean, we search and destroy at the very least. We're going to raid map that we keep talking very highly about simply because it's been in a competitive rotation before. So the knowledge is there. I mean, anyone that was looking to see exactly what we should do for strategies and setups, I mean, it's all back there for you. Just go back to Black Ops 2. I mean, you'll probably enjoy your time while watching it as well, so it doesn't hurt. And we have gotten to see some unique strategies. I think without the snipers, it becomes very difficult to get any offensive control.
Right.
And this is something I've been preaching a lot, right? Especially even like playing with some of the guys in the broadcast today, just making sure that we're getting some of that priority on defense, because if you start losing mid-map control on defense, well, you're just opening up laneways and options for the offensive team to be able to really do and dictate whatever they'd like because of the spread of the map and it being a traditional 3-lane Call of Duty where, it's not just Garrison where it's like if one of your teammates falls, like, all right, well, I still have the same thing covered, so it's not a big deal. It's like, no, you got to make some rotations. You have to start moving around here. So a lot of pressure on, and I feel like, if anything, this entire Colorado Springs squad probably just felt like they got hit with a truck right there, Andy. It's like kind of going in towards leg day for the first time after 6 months, waking up and like, holy, I can't walk right now. It's not looking great. They got to get themselves back on track. And I mean, this is another situation where we're saying you have to do it in this map number 2, because it feels like this Arizona squad, especially with their subs are playing, like when you get your subs at that level of play and they're able to just kind of start freely doing what they want, they're picking up, just about multi-kills on every single life. You have to shut that down. You have to stop giving them breathing room. And that comes then in towards the ARs on what are you doing position-wise to be able to stop them from being able to make these moves? Because if we just see exactly what we got in map 1 going in towards map 2 on a map like Raid, where a lot of it does come down to power positions and what you have control of, then things are going to be very scary, very terrifying. We might just get a similar result that we just got.
Yeah, man, because when it comes down to the defensive setup, you get to the middle of the map first, so you have really the lay of the land. You get an SMG of the presence of mind that we just saw from Aggie coming off of that Garrison hardpoint, and you end up having, like, say, an XM4 of, say, Beeson's caliber, what we just saw off that Garrison hardpoint, defensively set up for Wildcats in the middle of the map. They can absolutely smoke you, and all those lanes absolutely come around once you do get that middle map control, just like what you were talking about earlier, Austin. So, I mean, I think it's a really scary spot to be in if you are Colorado Springs, because, yes, they got absolutely slapped in the face, man, and there's no way that it felt good. You got a 100-point club here on the Alpha stream by this team of the Wildcats. You really just had no answer to as far as kills are concerned. I mean, apart from Metro, who went positive, I believe they went like 25 and 24 there at the end, was definitely getting involved in the more positive way for the rest of their team. But if you can somehow just try to not necessarily meet the aggression of Arizona Wildcats, you then take a fundamental side and you just try to slow down. You try to catch them getting a little bit too antsy, and you wait for that perfect time to be able to execute either rotations or being able to take away an S&D site. Then you might be able to find yourself an S&D win here if you are UCCS. But enough all the speculation, and we finally get the answers here, Austin, as we are ready here with Raid Search.
We are here in Colorado Springs. Let's show us what you got as we get right in towards that middle map aggression. And what you call that, Aggie, he's the one that's hitting it. And, well, Zig is wide open, by the way, and he actually might be able to find himself a first blood. The timing, not sure if Proplex sees him. I mean, the way he's holding the angle, he does. And, well, he does come through with the kill as well. But do they know it's more than one flanking? They find the first 2 kills. The shot punch not there. Proplex, he gives himself the shot punch right back. And now all up to Rifa in a 1v3.
And Proplex will fall back here, so they know exactly where Rifa's going to be located at. The kill happened inside of Red, where I believe just about every single kill really did. So now Rifa looking to hit this through Kitchen, has one in front of him. Now make this a 1v2. Very interesting stuff. There's no player really close for UCCS to be able to try to find the trade. The regen's going to come through for Rifa. Bro trying to peek around the door. Rifa for 2. Make this a 1v1. Has time to play.
This could be a 1v4. Wildcats looking to see if they can get themselves around. They shouldn't. Got 20 seconds left, Rifa. You got to make a move. He gets the information. Will he make this move? He has to go now. Will he check his left is really the biggest thing. He doesn't. And Andy, almost a 1v4 that came through there for us. A little bit scary, but in the end, they at least do still secure the round.
Yeah, Proplex absolutely saw Aggie cross there. I believe just saw a handful of pixels at that. And then just this immediate just kill. The shot punch. Beeson got the opening hit, but just couldn't find the hipfire shots of the XM4 to be able to find the trade. Flipped right on its head. We talked about the SMGs. Rifa almost just finds the ace to be able to clutch out the round. Smart enough coming through from Kodiaks just to be able to reposition themselves, even so minuscule-esque, when Rifa was taking cover behind inside the open stairs. Now, looking to string together a couple rounds here would be UCCS Esports. They're going to have to do it on defense, and I believe player 2 in Neon is retreating fully inside of basketball courts because they see the Wildcats coming. It seems that it looks that way.
Kodiaks, he has an angle to be able to make a move here. If they decide to drop this rock, no one is open stairs. I mean, if he checks the bomb right now, yeah, he gets a free kill. And that's also information that that bomb has actually been dropped. But we take a look at the flank. Rifa almost able to combine for 2 kills in a row. Now we'll work ourselves in towards a 2v3. Arizona have to start to get themselves a kill and really get some control back in their favor. Not going to be there in towards the back. All up to Prof. He will pick up this bomb. Has 40 seconds to work with. Gets isolated 1v1 and turns things into a 1v2.
Jen might just be here, but the pinch came through from basketball court just in time. Really no place to go there. At the end in the open stairs, had a handful of gunfights. And this play, again, from Proplex, just to be able to go check out over by the garage area, just to recognizing that Rifa might just try to go wild. And it's really been where a lot of the deals have been kind of around for Wildcats for the search and destroy wins. They are currently sitting at 3.25 KD is Rifa for their search and destroy KD. So they're that player to really watch out for if you are UCCS Esports on your flanks, in your back line, just being able to find these kills, being able to trade it in their favor. It's unsuccessful so far. Colorado Springs lead 2-0.
Good stuff here. Colorado Springs looking a lot stronger in search and destroy, looking to keep that going here in their favor. But this time around, it's Prof. He finds himself first blood, so numbers advantage for Arizona as they know exactly where this hit is coming from. Bomb's also going to be stopped there. Off screen, Neon finds himself a kill. Metro playing his life with 30 HP. Important play here as he's going to hop out on the ring, look for the second attempt with the challenge. Won't be able to bring it, and that's also going to be the bomb dropped.
Go at the Pierce location. Beason's just going to sit right over top of it. Now in a 1v odd situation, Wildcats will be able to put themselves on the board here. And just when they wanted to get aggressive, just saying they're saying, it's like, listen, we just went to the floor with these kids on the Garrison hardpoint. We could try to just force our way through these gunfights. They slow it down. They try to get the information, which is a fundamental of search and destroy. Keep in mind, you and Wildcats are able to showcase that, being able to take favorable gunfights, it comes up in their favor to put themselves on the board. So now it comes down to teams just adapting going on forward. One of the best parts about watching a search and destroy, Austin.
Sure is, and Wildcats might be looking for that first blood pick again to see if that's what's going to allow them to create some room, maybe get a bomb down. There it is. Prof, he does it back-to-back rounds. Good shots, but there is going to be a quick answer. Kodiak gets himself the kill. Rifa playing tight will be able to work one right back with the trade. So now two members here for the side of Colorado Springs have to try and answer back in 2v3.
Work their way through the middle of the map. Both Neon and Kodiak just trying to play for the trade, just trying to overwhelm any opponent that they run into. Rifa's at a spot. They're going to read this. Here comes Kodiak. There's the first. 86 HP. Tries to go for the challenge aggressively at that. Lead another bullet, and now Neon just stuck in this 1v1 situation, but finds the first with the Semtex.
I like that cheeky little Semtex here, but Aggie, I mean, he's got the cross. He knows that this push did not just come through the back. Could get a chance at an isolated 1v1 if we can go on board with the player who is starting to work through this 1v2. Neon caught in the middle of the map here. It's going to have to take a challenge. And I mean, he's got to make a move sooner or later. He's going to run right towards Aggie's sights. Easy pickup, no problem. Good stuff. Arizona now with a couple of picks in a row will result in a 2-2 score count.
And I like that reservation as well. A lot of teams in those odd situations, especially in the CCL, they'll either try to aggress on forward, trying to get that last kill. They give those isolated 1v1s. You don't necessarily want to be doing that, not when you know your opponent's strengths coming through from either of these teams. I mean, you may have just a 100-point club UCCS, but you don't want to give them those isolated 1v1s. Could be where you meet your demise, but not going to be the case for Wildcats, who are very, very comfortable as far as their ones are concerned. So far, answering back 2 rounds in a row. UCCS, Metro carrying the bomb, will lose their first life. That's going to be Neon, but Kodiak's looking for a trade.
There's a big gunfight there. I mean, you lose that. Now you give up a bit of room to work on this A site here. Metro coming off a hot game, now 0-4. Proplex also going to be tagged up and shrugged off. Challenge. Metro has to wrap all the way back, and this could be some pretty crucial information. I mean, he has the bomb, so he's playing very, very risky, and, well, that's an easy pickup. Beaston finds him. Bomb now down. 1v3. Proplex, last known location inside of the pool house, has that assault rifle. There's a lot of subs lingering in and around this Zig and Art area. Things are going to be so challenging here for Proplex.
Proplex is actually going to hit through Zig if we can get their perspective here, Connie, just to be able to see how they're trying to work their way through. And as a player, at least in the top red, but over on the opposite side through the middle of the map, a player will be able to help them out. So 3 rounds in a row now for the Wildcats. And again, it just came down to the same thing that we were talking about in the Garrison hardpoint. It's just sub pressure, man. That if you can get yourself in this position alone, defensively, for Aggie's sake, you're going to feel yourself very comfortably to slide challenge around these angles. You have the headies of the rocks in between that you can get some help from Kitchen for that first blood. It comes through a handful of rounds, both for Rifa and Aggie. This triple SMG setup for the Wildcats really paying off.
Arizona starting to figure things out, and it's really just been all across the board for each and every member. Everyone getting involved in towards the mix here. And now you need a big round to come through defensively, and look at the hit through the middle of the map. Aggie, can he line up any of these kills? Shots coming through, sliding and weaving in and out. A lot of submachine guns here, which means it's going to be really difficult to battle out against these gunfights over by ring. No one going down, surprisingly enough, as it's just the stack right in the middle. No one making that move just yet.
Aggie's going to stun check this. It's actually going to find information. Doesn't opt in for the challenge. Neon's also going to need a couple bullets, so the UCCS, I mean, they're quite literally just trying to trap the Wildcats over here. But Wildcats, you push them into a corner, they might just fight on back. Quick trade, Metro trying to challenge it. Now finds themselves in a 2v2. Quick trade's coming all the way out, but it's actually UCCS that are standing up top of Rifa. Has a different page to write in this book.
Colorado Springs need this round, but this bomb has to be picked up, so Rifa's got a little bit of running and traveling to do. Both players just going to miss each other as this rotation is going to be made. So either side, an option here for Rifa. He has the sub, and will he have an AR to pick up here? Because he is choosing to bring this over by B. Surprised he's not making the rotation towards A, but might just have a great read on where Proplex might have went for the 50-50. With only 10 seconds left, bomb will go down. Information now for Proplex, as it's the sub, I believe, up against the assault rifle. And while it looks like Proplex, he's going to go all the way in towards back launching and clear things out, or maybe just hold to see if it's going to be a wrap.
Well, top frags going off against each other, sub versus AR. It might just have the presence of mind to read the right angle. They do. Proplex is going to eat a couple bullets. Just tries to reposition themselves inside a library, and I respect this coming out from Rifa. You duck out through driveway, you hit through red, potentially through the middle of the map. Proplex, the only real play that they have given the time on the clock is just a hop it. Rifa's going to check this. They're going to end up seeing through the bomb site. You would think, got to hit this soon. There's the ankle shots. Oh, man, I'm not going to lie. My feet started getting sweaty towards the tail end of that round, but it's going to be now 4 rounds for the Wildcats. In a row. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've just been able to work themselves out of these sticky situations, and on top of that, it's been a lot of these rounds where it's been stacked with first bloods, and I think they're probably also wondering, Dak, you know, as all of them end up dropping by Zig here for us, and they're like, did they just stack 4 in the middle of the map? Well, the answer is yes, they did. They did stack 4, and it looked good there for a few of the moments. Just did not look good in the end when it came down to just limited seconds to get that diffused through. So Arizona good for 4 rounds, and now you need the response. Colorado Springs, a team that is already 1-0 down in the series, for anyone that might just be tuning in here for us. So we're talking about getting some of these rounds on the board. Aggie, he finds his window to be able to push out in towards the middle of the map, uncontested. He's free now to be able to swing wherever his team needs him. Colorado Springs just might hit all the way through. So they're not met with resistance over by Laundry, but Neon's going to actually find the first blood. That's over by the outskirts, right on the south side of Laundry. Big trade, though. There's Rifa on the flank again. Rifa over by the white bands, good for 2, making this a 3v1.
Can Aggie make this happen? Just needs to find the shots. Neon, oh, no way. He wins that, but he still got pressure in from behind. Prof should be there for the trade. He is. Big kill, and then again, Arizona. They're just finding round after round. They're breaking them down here for themselves, Andy. It's not like it's just the sub, just the ARs. Everyone getting involved as they find the 5th round in a row.
It's just such a big pinch comes through from Rifa. It's not red by any means, and this is just what I was talking about. You just can't let Rifa be able to find that sort of value, just quietly trekking up the driveway like that. 11-4 for them. Again, just walking into this 3.25 KD overall through their opening 2 matches just last week, Austin. I mean, Wildcats are really finding themselves a lot of value just catching UCCS off guard. They're playing slow. They're playing for information. This defense means everything, but Neon loses their life inside Tiki.
Prof, how many first bloods has he gotten? He's only got 6 kills, but I feel like he's gotten at least 3 first bloods. Beast in on the stairs. He finds the 2nd kill of the round. Now all up to Metro and Proplex. Metro without a kill might be ending on 0-8 unless he can do wonders here. And well, there's the Catholic curse. He proves me wrong, Andy. I'll bite my tongue, but can he find the 2nd one? Oh! Okay, Metro. He's waiting for his big highlight moment when it matters most here. Now turns things into a 2v2, but he would have to find the complete ace. He gets 3. Can he get 4? This would be a massive round, and he's just going to try to stick it. There's no way he gets this through ever. There's no way the final seconds are there. And the Wildcats, they take 6 rounds in a row to go 2-0 up in the series.
Yeah, I mean, they just weren't down a map there for UCCS. They were down bad, man. I mean, you get 250 to 80. You get 100-point clubbed on the opening hard point with the first 2 rounds on Search and Destroy, and then just bing, bang, boom. 6 rounds in your face. Wildcats just heat up. SMGs were just like, okay, all right, listen, we're not going to run at you directly. We're going to wait for you to show yourself, and then we're going to smoke you. And that's exactly what ended up happening. I mean, for Arizona Wildcats, they were kind of just fumbling across the map through those early goings of things, Austin, but they really were able to reel themselves together. The triple SMG setup was able to really just put the pressure on. And keep in mind, Colorado Springs were also running said triple SMG setup, but Metro only started to find their kills towards the tail end of things. And when you don't find those early kills as an SMG, when you're trying to entry like Metro was, you'd lose out on a lot of positions that your team could be working through the map, offensive, defense alike.
Whew, looking good. 6 rounds straight. Dominating map 1 here to play is going to be the University of Arizona. The Wildcats might have enough. Close things out here in 3. Might be a quick night here for us proper, but either way, we are going to get ready to send things towards a bit of a break. Get ready to set up for that map 3. Will they have enough to keep this series going, or will Arizona just come right through and just swipe this squad away with a hot 3-0? We'll have to find out after the break. Don't go too far. This would be a massive round, and he's just going to try to stick it. There's no way he gets this through ever. There's no way the final seconds are there. And the Wildcats, they take 6 rounds in a row to go 2-0 up in the series.
Yeah, I mean, they just weren't down a map there for UCCS. They were down.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to College COD. We are currently in week 2, split 1. It's myself, Visions, joined with Proper here, of course, and we are currently in a very interesting series where the squad that is flawless might not be flawless after this final map, potentially if it's won. 2-0 is the count that we currently have. The Wildcats have been very dominant so far, Andy. They've looked great. They've went on these sprees, and they have to absolutely be on high vibes heading in towards this control.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the vibe's got to be just as poppy as the music that we still got cranking in our ears right now. But, you know, it's for UCCS Esports. I mean, there's a lot of openings that might just end up coming through for Garrison Control. A lot of flat tires, if you will, that they had just trying to slowly roll their way through the Garrison hardpoint. Again, it was 250 to 80. You can see the scoreline right above my head. Is that the SMG lineup just wasn't there. The pressure for all these different lanes, non-existent. And when it comes down to Garrison Control, if you're looking to swing together any zone that you try to hit off the rip, or if you're just trying to control any strong points of the map, that's going to come down to the submachine guns, which if you're looking no further, Aggie and Rifa through the first 2 maps have been, for the first 2 maps have been absolutely lights out.
They have been lights out. And interesting here for Arizona is that, you know, they are 1-1. They have a 3-0 win in this game mode and an 0-3 loss in this game mode. So they're either doing really well, or they're doing really bad, Andy. And maybe that's finally kind of some silver lining for the side of our squad here for University of Colorado Springs, because they've had a couple of nice starts. Like we go back towards the map too, for anyone that did not get to watch that one, they had themselves, you know, a pretty strong start, right? They open up the first couple of rounds, but things start to stagnate. They stop getting themselves a lot of these first bloods, and they're just really caught in a lot of these 1v situations, which was ended up happening. And we just saw 6 rounds come through there for Wildcats. So it's been really interesting. And we talked about Metro, I think, as a player that said, all right, you know, this is the one that might have to be the player to carry them over the top, because he had an excellent game number 1 where I think he was just at about 30 kills or maybe just slightly under. Everyone else had a bit of a rough game, kind of just around like at least 10 negative, kind of, you know, double neg for the most part. So no one was really kind of pulling their weight, and Metro was really doing it all. He then didn't exactly get things going himself, and towards that final round that we ended on, where he almost got, you know, the complete ace after going through with an 0-7 start. So I'm looking to see if Metro, I think, is going to be able to do what he just did on this map on hardpoint, except this time maybe get a little bit of assistance here from his teammates to be able to push them over the edge.
It's all about influence, right? You got one player that's able to find 2 or 3 that influences the rest of the team to be able to then push up in certain areas. But sometimes it comes down to just winning their ones. And that's why if you go back and you watch the Garrison hardpoint between these 2 teams, yes, Metro was good for at least 1 or 2. through the lane that they were hitting. Now the rest of the team members just really struggled upon that. Their counter SMGs in Kodiaks was sometimes being able to find the same value, but for Neon and Proplex, one AR, I believe both of them were running XM4s on the Garrison Hardpoint. We'll probably see the same thing. Same thing for Prof and Beeson for Arizona Wildcats. Is that if you're gonna try to take the map away from the enemy, especially on Garrison, you better off more often than not trying to either double on up with somebody when you are down that heavily. Going back to the Garrison Hardpoint, we'll have to see if Colorado Springs can showcase that ability, because as far as overall 1v1 gunfights, it's been all Wildcats.
Let's see what they can do right in towards this offense. It's going to be the Wildcats getting themselves a couple of those first bloods. The break already looking great. They have green control. There's only one player they have to worry about, and it is going to be Metro himself, the player we highlighted for the squad, to maybe find some value. Does jump on the point, gets the contest, should see the gun, and finds the first kill. No teammates here just yet to find the second, but Neon, he swoops on through, gets himself the slide, and they're going to be able to at least stop that second kick from coming in.
Easton still has top green control, though, and this is in a good spot, so that way you can either try to wrap and stop the clock over at A if you need to. That's given that this game doesn't really work out in his favor, but it's Rifa, who is always on the flank within the second map, is looking to hit it through lights, is good for 2. While their teammate of Aggie also takes down Kodiak. So the B-Zone will see that second tick of progress. Almost likely going to guarantee the third. Got to be careful here for Colorado Springs not to give up too many lives on this rotation.
Beeson finally dies. Important kill. Metro just moves right through. Stops 2 from coming off that last zone. Gives them a little bit of time to at least set up and prep for the next hit. And Neon finds the last one. So everyone now for the side of the Wildcats is going to have to take a breath, slow things down, wait for that fourth member to come up, because if they start dropping, they're not going to have the full team push. But maybe it doesn't even matter if they have all 4, because they're still winning it on these engagements. The nade's good for 1, and now it's going to be the XM4 good for the second. Now moving in towards the point itself. They have a bit of numbers moving in towards the back, but it's the defense at the moment holding strong. Metro's in the mix. Can't be good for the kill. One more player.
No way.
Oh, Prof finds himself the double up. Will shut things down, and now they can look to stack the zone.
And then with what the Wildcat members are over by the spawn, Beeson was just trying to cut them off. That actually forces them to spawn southwest. That is just so far out. The second tick of progress might just be here before Colorado Springs can work their way back inside the zone. But they got to somehow get their footing here first. Rifa's on top box, finds another kill. Here comes the slide challenge. Not going to be good for Colorado Springs. This is just going to be too far gone. You're stacked here. Colorado Springs can't make it to the point in time. Wildcats with an offensive round win.
Oh, that was something right here. We get another look at it, and well, thank God we do, because look at what Prof did. I mean, he has no business winning that gunfight versus 74U, and then this one, Proflex has got to be holding a pre-aim with the way he's strafing there, and well, Prof just absolutely puts him 6 feet under. Grabs himself a lot of control, and that also gives them time to be able to stack the zone. That was an offensive win that just came through there for us, and now even more pressure on the shoulders of Colorado Springs. Yet to find a whole lot of value in the slaying department. You're seeing it here again, struggling to keep up with the engagements, and they have to somehow find some value here on the attack.
Colorado Springs Wild Lions just might end up going back to Set Springs with their tail tucked between their legs if they can't win a gunfight convincingly. I mean, it's a big 3-for-1 trade. Favor for the defense. The Wildcats just going to have Aggie just go rogue. They're 4-3, and they're going to lose their life. But still, it's just the ability for Wildcats just to continuously find these kills, just to always pressure you out. For Colorado Springs, same thing for the Garrison Hardpoint. They're just always down numbers when they're trying to make a play happen.
A chance to push out here. They do relieve a bit of the pressure. Find 2 players. Prof holding his angle. Metro smokes them. So they do at least clear out a few of the power positions, but Aggie's down low, and they know the sub needs to be dealt with. They do come through with the flank. Quick trade that comes in after, but that's fine, because you at least take one of the subs out of the position to be able to attack and defend the zone. Proflex trying to hold on towards the green stairs, and he will be taken down from the back. If it's not one of the subs getting you, it's the other. Rifa tries to push up immediately to create some extra zoning, but he will be taken down, and Neon now stops the clock as he hops on the point.
Double XM4 setup with 2 SMGs that are coming through for the Wildcats. Krieg 6 XM4 for UCCS, and awesome. You can absolutely just feel it. I mean, just the mid pressure, just the break potential, just always just covering so many different angles. Not to mention just the overall just raw gun skill. It's just all in the favor of Wildcats. 14-4 for Beeson with the XM4. It's a dangerous 4 players for the Wildcats are being represented here by Arizona State, man. And only got 20 seconds left. The clock will actually be stalled out. UCCS are only down 1 life. Beaston hitting it from the flank might just stop it.
Oh, Beaston wins the second. They found the player on A. There is certainly time for a touch, but Neon is just all alone, and he can't even get across to L before Prof ends up taking him down. Rifa just trying to stop the last few trickling members trying to make their way in towards B. Still 5 seconds left. Metro taking the vent system. Not sure if he has time to pop out in behind. Should be able to get here, and he does. So they actually do find 3 out of 4 for themselves, and last one remaining is going to be coming right towards left. Rifa, though, one of the subs. Can he find the entry? He cannot. He is denied entry. Metro will be good to be able to get that first tick, and it's a massive stack here. Kodiaks and Metro looking to put in that second tick. Second tick's good. Will there be one more push that comes in? Every single player that's coming in is doing it alone. Prof, once again, alone on this attack. Finds the first one. Can he move in for the second one? His subs get to the middle of the map. They do get the zone before finding the kills, so there's still time here for ourselves, but as a producer says it in our ears here, Andy, only 4 respawns remaining.
Well, no, it's 4 lives remaining. UCCS, they're out of respawns, man. These 4 lives, that's all you got coming on through for you. You're almost wanting to play this like you are just really just teetering over the edge if you are UCCS. And for Arizona Wildcats, they will read this, that UCCS are wanting to play slow. They know exactly where their win condition is set at, and they're not giving up any position so far. This is going to have to be the last hit that comes through.
Final hit, have to make it count. Don't check the corner. Rifa, shaky shots, but he does manage to at least play his life, and the Wildcats still hold on, getting enough of the advantage there. Head in lives, head in control, pressure just overwhelming. Everything is just really good things. Good things all around the board, Andy. Nothing really negative, because it feels like if one player, isn't really having that top tier game, then someone else is doing it here. You have so many players to rely on, and we've seen that now over the course of the last 3 maps.
Yeah, we sure have, man. I mean, like, again, Beeson is a very, very bad man on this map, man. Very dangerous. 19-9. Have the same performance that we saw on the Garrison Hardpoint. We're not talking about their ARs in between Beeson and Prof. We're talking about Aggie and Rifa, and Aggie playing that entry role. Not to say that they're at a lack of involvement at 7 and 8, but Rifa at 12 and 10 is just finding these engagements coming out on top continuously, and that just allows for the ARs to be able to be found where they are standing at. So another offensive round win for Wildcats to put the sweep all the way through. Aggie's good for 2 through the middle, and Wildcats are just going to take control.
I like this Wildcats team, Andy. Very, very spicy. Just come in. I mean, look at them. Just freedom. Just freedom. Aggie's just got freedom to go. Takes 2 of them finally to be able to at least make sure he isn't allowed to keep going on the spree. And while that's happening, they're capturing time by B. Not too much of a worry, but Metro finds an angle to move on through. Just finds 1 on the point still. Not going to have the assistance here. It's just a lot of these solo plays they're relying on. And the solo plays have simply not been coming through. This might be good for the last tick on this B point. They have so much pressure. Beasting in towards the middle. Aggie stacking it. And, well, there you have it. Life lead, extra minute, and they can start working themselves in towards A.
A couple key gunfights here, though, are UCCS. Aggie's going to hit this from green. They got some help, so they're going to stop the clock here just marginally. I'm actually just going to take this opportunity to try to bait out a couple members from UCCS. Quick 2-for-1 trade, of which Kodiak stands tall. Now here comes the lineup for Wildcats one more time from top green. They already lose 1. It's just up the Prof. Trying to make a play happen before reinforcements come here. There is just trapped, and they will be dealt with a swift death.
Still trying to fight back here for themselves, and I mean, the longer they stall at the clock, the better. Rifa makes that first move. Whoa, I thought for a moment, but not going to happen. Metro will bring home the kill. Beaston now just needs to hold the line, see if he can maybe take this player outside of green. Metro, he gets a little over-aggressive, and he's punished for the play. Now a chance, because it's just up to Kodiaks to stop this push. He has the angle to be able to do it here. It's not going to be... Oh, you got to get that kill. Okay, thank God. Kodiaks does bring it home. Looking shaky here individually on these gunfights. And Rifa, he works his way right through bricks. I mean, just finding these gaps, finding these openings. And while that's happening, Aggie now, well, let's see what he can do with an XM4 because he's in the spawn.
Say finding these openings, Austin. I think that they're just brute forcing their way to get these openings. It's almost like a sledgehammer to a drywall. Beeson is going to be good for another 2 here on this life. Here comes some streaks from Prof. Artillery strike will be in play here. Get some pings of information. Finds 1 with it. First tick of progress. Halfway towards the second. We've seen ARs on this back setup just continuously flourish, and they have Rifa up front to help things out.
Can they even get one more player here? I don't think they're going to be able to. It's a double stack on the point, and there you have it. Wildcats, Swift 3-0 in map number 3. Also, a Swift 3-0 across all 3 maps. Good enough for the series winning. Good enough to give Colorado Springs their very first loss here in towards the season. I mean, a flawless team that we were talking up here, Andy, had a lot of expectations, but it just felt like there was a massive difference for as far as that individual gun skill, that individual pressure, and they were just outslayed in the majority of these maps here, just unable to find value, unable to get anything going and swinging their way. So good stuff here over towards Arizona. They get themselves 2-1 in the standings, and they're looking to see if they can go on a roll, because they're certainly looking like they're a dominating team here for us, Andy, with a lot of map pressure, the subs and arrows playing off each other, everything looking pretty good.
Yeah, and definitely a lot to learn here for UCCS. I mean, for the team, for Colorado Springs, I mean, a lot to be able to build off of, but just a lot to be able to learn in just such a very tough region, just in such a tough conference. There's a lot of stacked teams in here. We saw UTD Orange just earlier in this broadcast, Austin, and they bring the sauce, they bring the heat as well. And for these Arizona Wildcats at the same point in time, can only imagine that they might end up facing off against each other coming further down the line if they can continue on with these strides that we saw today. Again, some machine gun presence, AR presence, good for both the teams that won while we were on broadcast here, Austin, and they're able to at least showcase their strengths, and they have a lot of room to be able to grow, because just in split number 1.
Just split number 1. And well, with that said, we got Call of Duty action still coming to you guys tomorrow. That's going to do it for tonight. So make sure you guys are tuning back in, as we're going to have another 3 matches lined up, ready to go, locked and loaded for whatever might end up coming in for us, as we never really know. But that will do it here for the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow the stream down below. Make sure you guys go on Twitter, stay up to date with College COD, and well, you have yourself a great night.